And we found some shade here in Las Vegas. A hot Friday here, a couple days before the IZOD IndyCar World Championships. I got Mitch Davis with me from Chip Ganassi Racing, and Mitch has been tasked with the responsibility, in essence, of starting a team. What putting another team together? What? I mean, that's a broad task. What does that entail?
Yeah, well, you know, with all the success that Chip Ganassi Racing has had globally in NASCAR and IndyCar racing and all the championships, his business model is to grow and expand it into the racing world. So the logical step was to move into IndyCar racing and expand into another two-car team. And with Target having their deal with Chip done and everything, they decided to start pretty much a satellite team with Graham and Charlie, who had different sponsors. So we engineer the cars all together, but we started the team from scratch. We hired 25 people to start January 1st, and then from that point on, it's all about synergy and people. It's like any other sport, you know. When you compare these race car drivers to football players or quarterbacks or whatever, they're basically the key player. First, it's raising the sponsorship money, and then it's putting the team together and having an association with Chip, with a team that already has the engineering set up. That was a no-brainer. The hard part is getting 25 people together that can all work together and communicate and grow in a short amount of time. So it takes years. This team's won championships since the mid-90s at Chip Ganassi Racing with Target, and our task is to basically build this team into a mirror image of the Target team, you know, in the next 3 years. It takes at least 3 years to build a team and have the synergy. And what we've done this year, we've had a lot of success. We haven't won a race yet, but both guys every race have gotten better to where right now we can actually compare data with the Target team. At the beginning it was like, well, first we have to work on how these drivers drive versus how those drivers drive. And we have to get the cars up to the same spec as what they have in a short amount of time. When they've been racing this same car for 7 years, we had to get our cars, build them, and then get them to the same spec, and then go testing and racing. You don't necessarily learn a lot about the race cars when you're racing, because you put the setup on, you go out, and you can change the tire pressure or a wing adjustment, but you really can't change the fundamental characteristics of the car. So testing is very important. The IRL has limited us to testing, so we rely on Big Brother here at the Target team to help us, you know, on the engineering side. And it's been tremendous with Dario and Scott as teammates with Graham and Charlie. It's been great all year long, because basically they're building their careers around what Scott and Dario have done through their careers, and they have somebody to go and ask and say, hey, what do you think about this? And our engineers have the same thing with their engineers. So when you look at our performances the years gone on, we basically just kept building and building and building, and Graham's been leading races and knocking on the door of success, and this is his 4th year, I think, in the series, and this is Charlie's 1st year, so a lot of the tracks Charlie's just driving an IndyCar for the first time on, and he's been real successful.
So for next year with the new engines coming in, are you starting from scratch almost?
Well, I mean, yes and no. Our team's built. We have our transporters and our pit equipment and our shop. All the things that we had to do in but less than 2 months this year is already done. So now we'll concentrate on pit stops, developing the new car with Honda as a partner, and Dallara is building the car again. So we basically have a partnership with them, and the car will be jointly developed between our two teams, and they're already out testing. The car's going to be run here tomorrow on the racetrack, and we're going to test here the day after the race with the new car. So it'll be better next year, because we're all going to start with the same equipment. This year it was kind of, we're buying this and that and trying to piece it all together, and it was a building year. Next year it should be much better out of the box, and the drivers are much more mature, and we work together as a team a lot better.
Outstanding. Mitch, I know you've got a lot to do. We'll let you get back to it. Thanks for taking some time.
Thank you.